Hello and welcome to another Sprues and Brews unboxing video. Today we're looking at the new boarding patrol for the Tau Empire, which is the first place to get the new plastic Farsight. So first of all, massive thanks to Games Workshop for sending us this a little early to review. This is a really exciting set. The new Farsight was coming in an Ark of Omen book, but we didn't know quite how he was going to get released, and the fact that he's bundled in a boarding patrol is really cool. So in this video what we're going to do is have a look at the kits, we'll check out all the frames, see how Farsight goes together, and then towards the end of the video we'll be having a look at the painted Farsight model and see how he stacks up compared to some of the other units in the Tau Empire range. So if we flip this over, you see that in the box not only do we get the new Farsight, but we also get 3 crisis suits and a unit of fire warriors that I believe can be built up as breaches too. Now the rules of Farsight can be found in the Arks of Omen Farsight book, which we've also got a review for today up on the site too. So if you head over to spruesandbrews.com, we'll have all the details on that. Without further ado, should we crack this open and have a look what is inside? So if we pull it open, we can see we get a box filled with sprues. So I think the thing that everyone wants to see is Farsight, so we'll have a look at that first. We'll move his instructions out the way and the bases for everything in the box and have a look at this beautiful kit. So, really nice kit. There's a lot of cool like oriental vibes. So the kind of like blossom on the tree that's kind of on his base, and the way the kind of ropes are kind of blowing in the wind is very reminiscent of like Akira Kurosawa films. We've got that kind of samurai vibe to him. Obviously he's painted up traditionally in red, but I'm expecting to see a lot of really cool paint jobs for this guy. I think like a whitey pink kind of cherry blossom scheme to him would be really nice too. I believe Jay has painted up the one that we're unboxing here is going to do in viola colours, which I think is white, so stick around to the end of the video, we'll have that on show. But yeah, this is a very nice kit. I've been tempted to do a Farsight Enclave force for a while myself, so I can see myself picking up this box to get the obviously the crisis suits and Farsight himself. Off the top of my head, I think it's about £85 this box. So you're basically getting the kind of Pathfinders free, which is pretty cool. I suspect this guy will be available separately at some point, but at the time of recording this, it is currently exclusive to this box. So, in the box, we also get a couple of older kits. So we've got the Crisis team. We're not going to spend too long on these guys because we've seen them before, but this is the newer kind of retooled Crisis team that came out a couple of years ago now, I think. No, wait, 2014 this came out. So yeah, we've got the Crisis suit, which is still a nice kit, it still stands up today. And then we also get the new Fire Warrior / Breacher squad, which again came in the last Tau wave. Don't think this is too old of a kit. Where's the frame? 2014 as well on that one. So yeah, really nice kit. I mean, the main attraction really is Farsight, but the fact that we get those other kits in there, particularly the Crisis suits, if you want to do kind of a themed Crisis suit heavy army, I think it's pretty cool. Obviously in the box as well, we also get all the kind of flying stands and bases. We also get Viola Sept decals as well, which is really nice. So that is really cool for doing your Farsight Enclave. So, before we skip to the future and see what this model looks like built up, we'll have a quick look at his instructions too. So if we zoom in on this, and we'll have a nosy at how this guy goes together. So it should be a fairly straightforward build, I think. It's 3 small sprues, and I suspect if you built any Crisis suits or a Crisis suit commander, this is going to be very similar to that. It calls out quite a lot of the connection points as well of how he fits together, so he's got a very kind of, I guess, more rigid pose. Obviously we've not built this at the time of recording this, but I suspect you could maybe cut some of those pins to get a different pose or a more dynamic pose maybe if you wanted. I really love the base with the kind of the trees and definitely going to be painting them up as cherry blossom because I think that'd look really cool. And yeah, absolutely gorgeous model. I'm really looking forward to seeing this in the flesh. So as you're watching this, you'll probably jump ahead to the future where this is built and painted. As of recording this, I'm eagerly drinking in all the pictures of him because it is such a cool model. I can see a lot of people jumping on a Tau army after seeing this because that is very, very, very cool. And then we get a little stat profile, and obviously in the review we'll go over his stats. So when we're talking about, when we're showing off the model, we'll have the stats to show you then, and we'll be able to talk about how he performs. Obviously in the kit you also get the instructions for the other kits as well. These are older ones, so I'm not going to go too much into these. So what we're going to do now is jump into the future, and we'll see the contents of this box built and painted. And here is a look at the completed Farsight model, and I've got to say this has got to be one of my favourite Tau models that they've put out so far. Jay's painted him up in a kind of more different kind of white scheme, Viola I think the sectors, and I think that's where Farsight originally hails. Jay wanted to try and capture him before he kind of defected and made his own little faction. So yeah, so Jay's done a really good job painting up in the white, and I think there's stuff like the cherry blossom on the base and the kind of red of the kind of ribbon coming off the sword really kind of sets it off with the white scheme. So really impressed with how he's painted this guy up. What I will say, during the unboxing I did mention that Arks of Omen Farsight possibly has new rules for him. Since filming that, we've now had the book and read it, and he still uses the existing profile that was in the Tau Codex, so there's no new profile for him within the Farsight book. Over on spruesandbrews.com, Jay has done a full write-up of Arks of Omen Farsight if you want the kind of the narrative side of things and see what the kind of boarding patrol rules are in there. But yeah, from a rules point of view, he has got the same profile he always had, so it's not been updated, it's not been changed, which I guess kind of makes sense with 10th edition on the horizon. There's not much point putting out a short-term profile for him, really. So yeah, so it's a really cool box. Obviously you get the kind of breeches in there and the crisis suits, so really nice kind of core for an army. And obviously you get the gorgeous new Farsight, so I can see a lot of people picking this up to do a, you know, maybe a crisis suit heavy army. It'd be pretty nice using this. Add a few different suits and have a nice little thematic force. And obviously for kind of boarding action missions, you get a nice selection of stuff in there. So yeah, really exciting to see kind of if the Tau get any, you know, new stuff going forwards into 10th edition. It wouldn't surprise me if a lot of new armies get some new bits, and obviously presumably we'll go through the kind of rotation of codexes again, and I'm sure Tau will get some goodies in there. But yeah, this is definitely a massive improvement over the old Farsight model, and yeah, well deserved place in your collection. Now obviously it is currently only available in that boarding action box. I suspect that he will get a separate release later. Now whether that's alongside 10th edition or, you know, maybe in a month or so, don't know the details of that sadly. However, it does look a good value box to pick up if you do want to add him to your army. So yeah, probably worth picking up. There's some decent sections in there. It's not as if you're picking up some units that you wouldn't use. All of those kind of kits in the box probably do have a place in your army, so I'd say it's definitely worth picking up if you do want the Farsight. Even if you stick the other kits on eBay afterwards, you'll probably break even. So yeah, so that was a quick look at the new boarding action for the Tau for Arks of Omen Farsight. We do have a video up of the Orc box containing Snickrot. We have got a Lady Hara video for Necromunda, and then over on the websites we've got full write-ups of all of those as well, up as articles. So if you have enjoyed this, why not give us a follow? We do loads of unboxings and battle reports and content like this. If you want to support the site, we have a Patreon open now. I'll put the details in the video description. And we also have a link for Element Games. If you use that, we get a bit of a kickback, which helps support and run the site. But yeah, until next time, have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.